This is Patty Mueller from the Mueller for Minnesota campaign. Yesterday, as you most likely heard, Governor Walz made the decision to continue the shelter-at-home order until the beginning of May, another 3 weeks. Now, I understand the governor, like everybody else, wants people to stay safe and healthy. I acknowledge that COVID-19 was unknown and sometimes fatal. While I was concerned for my students and the other constituents of 27B during the initial 2-week shelter-at-home order, I wanted to give the governor the benefit of the doubt. These actions were preventative and possibly necessary to gather more data about the virus and its treatment. During the 2-week shelter-at-home order, I observed the communities of 27B rally around those in need, including the local businesses, many of whom were already taking preventative measures to help their customers without the government mandate. But I also saw how our state and economy felt the full effects of shutting down our economy with record unemployment numbers. Now, people who claim that it's time to get the economy up and running again are often demonized because they are risking people's lives and being so selfish, prioritizing money over people. It is time to stop putting forth this false dichotomy. First, we must understand that there is more harm done to people than just contracting COVID-19. Many states, including our own, are recording increased calls to domestic abuse hotlines and suicide hotlines. There are accounts of more fatal car crashes, even with fewer people on the road. One also must take into account people who are under enormous stress from not having a job and wondering how to feed their family. Doctors agree that those experiencing this amount of stress, it actually decreases the body's ability to fight off disease and illness. So you have to ask, is the cure, this shelter-at-home order, worse than the actual sickness? Second, as with many government solutions, politicians have failed to understand that a one-size-fits-all approach is inappropriate. Many rural areas are not as hard hit as urban population, and yet businesses are forced to close just the same. Plus, there are options besides just everything shutting down or everything going back to normal. The governor could have proposed guidelines for businesses, and then individual business owners could apply them in a way that makes sense for their own business. This allows people to get back to work while also still protecting the most vulnerable, those who are elderly and those with underlying conditions. And lastly, one must wonder how these orders are fundamentally changing our democratic republic, which was founded and built upon the pillars of freedom and free markets. These shelter-at-home orders decide which businesses are essential. What does that mean? And why does the government get to decide what is essential? I guarantee that if you are a business owner, your business is essential to you. It's essential to your employees and to your customers. And how come this is not enforced uniformly? Bigger businesses are allowed to stay open simply because they carry groceries, thereby hurting local smaller businesses? Most totalitarian governments are established after a crisis where leaders believed the people couldn't take care of themselves without endangering others. This belief is dangerous. We must be vigilant to hold leaders and policymakers accountable. Contact your representative today. Tell Representative Poppy and Senator Sparks to truly represent this district. Tell them your story and remind them that they work for you. Know that if you ever need anything, we here at Mueller, Minnesota would like to help you in any way. If nothing else, we will get your voice heard. It is time to put Minnesota back to work and continue caring for our most vulnerable population. We can do both, and we must do both.